The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 24 minutes to go. Today might be an interesting one. Private payrolls, right? Let's kick it off. S&Ps were up to 62.70 overnight. We zoom in on the volatility at 8:15 this morning. You're trading at 62.52. S&Ps. You had private payrolls, folks. Let's just get to the headline. Private sector, ADP, private payrolls. Decline 33,000 jobs. You see the non-farm payroll number decline 33,000 jobs tomorrow? Watch out in this market, man. Now, these numbers vary wildly, okay, as in ADP private payrolls, non-farm payrolls, you get vast differences in terms of those numbers. But nonetheless, they were looking for a 100,000 increase. That's almost what non-farm payrolls are looking for, 100,000 increase. And I know we're not jumping through the charts. We're going to get there in a moment, but this is an important one. It's a precursor to tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning when we get the June employment report. And yeah, you better believe it's a potential sign. Talk about, I mean, sometimes the headlines, man, they're just talk about it's a potential sign the economy may not be as sturdy as investors believe. I mean, you know, who writes these headlines? Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is, man. And yeah, May job growth was revised even lower to 29,000 from just 37. So you got May coming in at 29,000. You now have June coming in at negative 33. So May plus June is minus 4,000 jobs created in the private sector. Yeah. Now, this one is the important one that you can't read through the numbers. The ADP report has a spotty track record on predicting the subsequent government jobs report, which investors weigh much more heavily, it should say. Now, the number they're looking for tomorrow is about 110,000, and they're expecting unemployment to tick up to 4.3 from 4.2. Okay? We also get weekly jobless claims. You'll also get the wage data in there as well. And it's interesting that as you get the ADP number, right, boom, the headline hits that Microsoft's laying off 9,000 workers in the latest rounds of cuts from Microsoft. But yeah, we get that data. So markets trade a little bit lower. We're clawing back some of those losses this morning on weak economic data ahead of the non-farm payrolls. NASDAQ off 50 points right now, 0.2%, 22,645. That's a 1 minute. Let's put it back on a 15-minute for some context here. There's your NASDAQ 100. Dow was the big winner yesterday. You're basically flat today, negative by just 25 points. And the Russell, how about it, right? As yields drop, the Russell could benefit the most here. Quite a day yesterday. Look at Bitcoin, man. 108,000 for Bitcoin, up by $2,200 right now. Crude catching a bit. 66.10 right now, up to as high as 66.43. And yeah, let's jump to notes and bonds. The dollar. So yesterday, quite a pullback to lower price, higher yield. Now what's interesting is the initial move was higher price, lower yields. Well, the Fed's going to have to cut, man, if we're losing jobs that quickly, right? The market gets it all back, though. Look at that. So this is coiled here, as in we're chopping around. You see the highs we were up to in price in May, right where we were. We just made it to a high of 112.12. You made it as high as 112.20 back in the beginning of May. And we're talking about a yield right now of, forgive me, where are we? $4.29. There we go. 4.29%. Nonetheless, you're going to get a little volatility today in yields on a number like that. You jump over to the dollar, and you see the volatility in the same way, right? You get that number. So this is a precursor of what could expect tomorrow. You're looking at non-farm payrolls tomorrow. Be aware that if we get a number like this tomorrow, okay, you're going to see yields drop. You're going to see the dollar drop. Now, it's been a recoil, but we'll see if we get some follow-through. That'd be interesting if you trade lower, you test the high almost to the tick, and we pull back, but nonetheless, 96 handle on the dollar right now, 96.94. Technically positive by about 123 ticks right now in that dollar. Call it 97 on the dollar. Jump over to gold this morning. Just chopping around. Right now, you see a little bit of volatility on gold on that 815 number as well. As you have the yields drop, you have the dollar drop. Gold gets a spike. Gold up by $5 right now at 33.54. All right, let's jump to some equities here. So Tesla, they're out with their numbers right now. I'm seeing numbers hit the tape as I speak. Yeah, right at 9 o'clock as I was coming on the air. Look at that jump from $20. And man, it's remarkable because the headline number is that reports 14% decline in vehicle deliveries, marking the second straight year-over-year drop. Second straight year-over-year drop. Nonetheless, there's something in these numbers that the market likes. 384,000 vehicle deliveries in the second quarter, 14% decline from a year ago. I mean, look at that. Same period a year ago, 443,000 cars. This year, 384,000 cars. Man, what a story you tell to become the richest man in the world. The story's based all on a growth company on the future. Nothing to do with the numbers that are happening right now. Yeah, so deliveries at 384. Their production was 410. They had 443,000 deliveries the same period a year ago. And the market was looking for 387. But there's something else in those numbers the market likes. So be wary of Tesla right now. You pop to 322. You're at 315 right now. Tesla gets a little bit of a lift. We jump over to Microsoft shares. Down about $3 in the pre-market. See the headline hit that they're laying off another 9,000. You take a look at the price and volume on this equity on a daily. Yeah, that's a little bit of a give back of trading on Friday with some volume. You pop higher on Monday, but you don't have the volume. And yesterday you give it up, but give it up on light volume, man. Light volume on yesterday for that type of a pullback. But continuing that extension, we're going to open under 490 right now. Might be coming back into this bar from June 20th on Microsoft. Look at that. You did 37.5 million shares. The high of that bar. Look at about 482. 482.23, the high of that body of that candle. All right, we jump over to the VIX this morning. Yeah, there's an issue for you. Pay attention to this VIX, man. No abatement in the VIX, right? The VIX spikes on that 815 number. And we got no give back whatsoever. We're holding on to the VIX at 1727, looking for the market open. S&P is negative by 5. NASDAQ 100 off by 48 right now. Dow off by 31. Jump around to some other equities. Amazon shares slightly in the red this morning. You take a look at Apple. They got another upgrade. Look at this run on Apple from 199 on Monday to 209 right now. Closed at 207.82. Apple going to open in the green as well. Stay tuned, folks. We got a lot to talk about. Come right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. And yeah, taking a look at those jobs numbers, right? Look at these numbers, man. When you put it, I love visual representations of data. Now, of course, you can distort things, but this one is not distorted, okay? Not distorted at all. And you look at going back to, you're talking about, so this is June data, right? January, February, March. Yeah, so that's January. And you're talking about October, November, December. So since October of last year, right? We get 200,000 plus in October. We got 200,000. You get, looks like 175, 180, boom. You dip to 80. You get an influx in December to almost 150. And then you're talking about, what is it, 50 plus, 29 was the revision, and negative 33 right now. That is quite a decline from October on the private payrolls. Okay, and that's the monthly change in private sector employment. That's ADP that we just got. Now, that number can vary greatly from the employment report that we're going to be getting tomorrow at 8:30, but geez, pay attention to that one. All right, we talked some yields, right? So what's going on? The market's thinking that maybe the Fed's going to cut. September is the time frame right now. We'll see what the data shows tomorrow, because that could get upgraded to July. If you really see weakness tomorrow, like this number, but along with the decrease in yield, mortgage refinance demand surges. Now, the word surges, all right? It's clickbait in its own right. The average contract rate, 6.79%. 7%. Is that a surge? I don't think that's a surge, right? I wouldn't call refinances on a home loan going up 7%, because here's the other part of that. Refinance numbers are still relatively low. So percentages on small numbers can be deceiving. I say it all the time, okay? Refinance applications going up 7% when the refinance market is struggling with where rates are. Applications for a mortgage to purchase a home, we'll call it flat, up 0.1%, okay? Points, 0.62 from 0.63. And yeah, rates are 24 basis points lower. So we're above 7%. We're at 6.79 right now is the number. You had a 10% increase in conventional applications, 22% increase in VA refinance applications. And the average size of the refinance, $313,000. We'll see. Rate's going to be in focus, man. The Fed really starts cutting, and you get some real cuts here, and that economic data lines up. Yeah, you're going to see those rates come down. But pretty remarkable. You give it up. Market doesn't even move yields. Think about that. Market doesn't even move yields. That'll give you a glimpse of what is priced into this market, though. When you got a decline on ADP for the first time in 2 years, and the bond market says, no, we're good right where we are right now on yields. They're waiting for tomorrow. But we have just risen more than 2 full points in about the last 14 days. That's something to consider as well. And I got to upgrade that one. As we're trading right now at almost 4.3% on the 10-year. All right. What else do we got going on right now? Yeah, this one's a tough one, man. The Port Authority shut down multi-bus accident. This was coming out this morning right when I was getting on the air. For you in the New York, New Jersey area. All right, what else we got going on here? Yeah, we got jobs in focus. Yeah, Japan's a tough one. So, you get the comments on Japan. Okay. Trump threatened Japan with tariffs up to 35% as he ramped up tensions for a third straight day, fueling fears of a worst-case scenario among market players and raising doubts over Tokyo's tactics. Japan should be forced to pay 35%, whenever the number is that we determine. Think about that. They should pay whatever we think they should pay. Not like exactly easing tensions. I'm not sure we're going to make a deal. I doubt it with Japan. They're very tough. You have to understand they're very spoiled. Oof. Now, all right, I'm going to find, because I got one more article on Japan up here, just talking about how this deadline's coming, man, the 90 days, and Japan's pointing out how things are a little bit difficult here, to put it lightly. All right, I'll have to find that one as well. Ah, no, right on the front page. There we go. Staring at me right. Trump said trade deals would come easy. Japan's proven him wrong. So there's some uncertainty. You combine that with the jobs numbers out there. You know, get your spikes up on the back, folks, because that deadline's coming again, and we have uncertainty, to put it lightly. We have declining jobs numbers to put in on top of it. All right, that speaks for itself. We get jobs numbers. Let's jump around to some of the equities this morning. We take a look at some of the equities that were flying high yesterday. The Dow was on fire yesterday, giving it back today, though. Look at United Health off by $8. I wonder how this bill is going to impact some of these companies in particular. I mean, you see the numbers of people that are going to come off Medicaid, Medicare, some of these rural hospitals, and take the politics aside of it, okay? You can argue that people should be off of it. The argument is that there's work requirements, right? People should be working. The argument against that is going to be very difficult for many people who need care to go through the regulation requirements necessary to get them. Take the politics out of it, okay? There are rural areas, man. And this is take the politics out of it if you want to for a minute, okay? And just look at the finances. Because I was reading this morning, and some of these numbers, check this out, okay? Kentucky, North Carolina, Ohio, Illinois, Virginia, some of these numbers, man, in terms of the people and the percentages that are on care in certain areas, in these poor rural areas, okay, Kentucky being one of them, $10.2 billion is, and what's going to happen to some of these hospitals that are within an area. Here we go. This is, so Mississippi, of course. That's not to put it, but, you know, this is like Bogalusa, Louisiana, near the Mississippi border. So Louisiana, not Mississippi, okay? A town of roughly 11,000. 45% of the patients are on Medicaid. 40% are on Medicare. That's 85% of the people. Yeah. What's going to happen is, whether you agree with it or not, the funding's not going to be there likely. And those hospitals are going to be forced to shut down without some of that funding. And how that's going to happen, we'll talk a little bit more. But UNH, they're down by $8 right now. We're coming back for the open,
Sharpening
folks.
your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got the markets open. You got an S&P opening within 2 points of where we were yesterday. You zoom in on the action yesterday, we closed it out at about 62.48. We're trading right now at 62.45 in the S&Ps. We're as high as 62.70. A little bit of pressure to the downside on those weak economic numbers. Check out the NASDAQ 100. We hit the lows right where we were yesterday on that acceleration this morning. You're negative by 30 points or 0.1%. Dow right now off by 19 points. We'll call it flat. And the Russell positive by 3, positive by 0.1%. All right, we jump over to some of the equities with action this morning. Tesla Yeah, what was going on with that acceleration, right? Giving it up. We're still up by 3.5% right now. Tesla with some volatility on their delivery numbers coming out. And how about this equity? So, talking about insurance, and this could be what's hitting UNH as well, beyond anything to do with the bill and Medicaid and Medicare. But Centene, they pull their guidance. They are down 34%. How about that one? You take a look at this equity. Whew. There's your weekly. There's your 5-year. And how about that on a monthly basis? All right, we're back to the highs of 2015. Just like that, man. Oof. And yeah, what's remarkable is this stock Centene, right? So they pull their guidance. You get downgrades, you get everybody coming in, of course, okay? Yeah, I'll pull it up in the next one, but this is going to have some volatility, man. To put it lightly, you got some of those equities in terms of UNH down by 2% right now with a little volatility there. We jumped to some of the other Dow stocks that were plowing higher yesterday, giving back some of those gains. Home Depot, look at that run yesterday for Home Depot. From 366 to 379, we're trading right now off by 0.5% to 371. Let's take a look at some of the volume of some of these equities right now. Yeah, decent volume. Couldn't quite get above the volume we had on Friday, though. On Friday, we do 5.5 million shares. We do 5.1 yesterday. You're bumping up against this day of earnings on May 20th. Look how we trade into that bar, and you give it up on Home Depot right now, down by 0.7%. One of the other equities trading higher yesterday in the Dow was Amgen. Up by about 0.3% right now. Check out some of the chip stocks. AMD, we'll call it flat right now. Intel shares down by 1% right now. Oracle, quite a run to 228 from 118 in April. My goodness. You're trading right now off by 0.8%. We check out some of the Magnificent Seven. Amazon down by 0.4% right now. Apple continuing the run as they make the shift to Anthropic or OpenAI, up by another 0.9%. Google slightly in the red. Meta slightly in the red as well. We jump back to Tesla shares up by 3%. Yeah, Netflix was quite a pullback yesterday. Whew, look at that thing, man. Let's take a look at this thing on a daily. Yeah, that was some big volume on Netflix yesterday. We do almost 5 million shares. Last time we did that, you had a little bit of a pullback on 5.3 million. But outside of that, we haven't done 5 million shares since the low of May 12th. Quite a pullback on volume for Netflix shares. And today we're positive, though, with the market negative. All right, we jump back to the dollar. So the dollar's at 97. We catch a little bit of a lift. It's especially surprising. And can't get anything going on yields, which is remarkable. And that employment number for private payrolls, and then the market just shifts forward to say, we'll wait for tomorrow. We'll wait for the June employment for non-farm payrolls coming down the line tomorrow. All right, and we've been talking about Vegas with the beautiful World Series of Poker taking place, but guess what? I've never heard of this, but a Virga bomb wins, knockout power, and delay flights. Yeah. So how about 70 to 100 miles per hour? And yeah, toppling power lines across Vegas late Tuesday, thousands in the dark, flight cancellations as a cloud of dust less visibility at zero coming into July 4th. Electricity mostly restored. Only about 3,000 customers left. And they got about a 50% chance of some more. And how about temperatures reaching 102 degrees on Thursday? We'll get some clear skies and a nice 102 degree Fahrenheit temperature. 61 delays. What's remarkable is that, so the World Series of Poker takes place every summer out there. And the main event kicks off sometime around July 4th. So I've been out there. Usually I would go out there around July 4th. Haven't been out there in many years, okay? But in my younger days, I was out in Vegas. I would usually stay at the beautiful Flamingo Hotel, would cheap it up a little bit in my 20s. Always liked being in the action, though, where the Flamingo was. You're around Caesars, Bellagio, the Venetian, all that good stuff. But what I remember is I was out there for the 4th, and one year we're out there for the 4th, and we're getting a heat wave even by Vegas standards, and they have to cancel the fireworks because it was too hot in Vegas to have fireworks in a dry desert, and they canceled the fireworks. But it's a dry heat, folks, and it is a dry heat. I remember walking around. Coming from Florida where the humidity is crazy, it's a dry heat, and I liked it. At least you weren't sweating, but it did feel like you were right in the middle of a hot fan blowing in your face 24/7. Taking a look at the S&Ps. Look at this volume in the last 3 days, right? Holding up well, man. 1.26, 1.25, 1.265. Just like that. Holding up on volume as we push those highs. Even today, relentlessly strong right now in this market, considering the economic data. All right. We jump around to some currencies. Take a look at the euro US dollar. Let's put it back to a daily for a second. Basically inverse the DXY, of course. But how about it, man? You know, you're talking about on January 13th, okay, for those of you in Europe, how about almost a 20% appreciation of your euro versus the US dollar from basically parity to 117. It is a remarkable move, man. We jump over dollar yen with Japan in focus. Sitting at about 143.95 right now. Yeah, and pound US dollar, they got all sorts of stuff going on in the UK right now. From 137 to 135 right now. The headlines over there. Yes, they have inner turmoil going on, to put it lightly. There's your 30. Let's put it on a daily. And yeah, all things considered, though, same thing, right? You just go from 120 to 140 in the pound. Euro went from 100 to 120. Not quite as big of a move. You get a little bit of a pullback, but every time we've had a pullback, no matter what, you got dollar weakness and dollar weakness contributing to strength on those cross currencies. And look at the NASDAQ, man. Can't shake the NASDAQ. NASDAQ gets into the green. S&P's off by 5. Market reacting fairly well. We jump back to Tesla shares, holding up by 3.2%. NVIDIA, check it out, up by 1.1% for NVIDIA shares. Amazon slightly in the red, and Microsoft as well. Stay tuned, folks. We'll come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day, Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, Centene down by 34% on their numbers. You jump over to the S&P right now. S&P basically flat, trading off just 3 points as the market holding up so well on the heels of that. Jobs number of a declining ADP private payrolls. You talk about it, man. And so, we'll see all the details in this, but this is part I wanted to talk about. This big, beautiful bill. Okay, check it out. I bring up poker. We bring up gambling. Okay, I say it's just nonsense how online poker is not legal. And I was seeing a lot of, it's not legal in Florida, folks, online poker. And I still follow poker. We've been talking about the World Series. So check out what's in the bill on this one, okay? Makes no sense whatsoever. Last minute provision to the big, beautiful bill. And the way it works is it comes down to, for some reason, in this bill, they're only going to let you offset 90% of your losses incurred over the year. It's insanity how this makes any sense, okay? And I believe it made it through the Senate. We'll find out, as in this was just published today, and as I was reading things about it last night, okay? And the way this works is that you would limit gambling losses to 90% of the losses incurred for the year. So that means the 90% would cover the gambling losses and business expenses. It's a 10% change, but here's the problem. Okay, if you win, let's just say you have a break. I mean, I've been talking about all these tournaments. They're $50,000 to enter, $100,000 to enter. Even the main event is $10,000 to enter. Okay, what happens is, let's say you play $10,000 tournaments. That's $100,000 in buy-ins. Okay, and let's say you win $100,000 over the year. Well, what have you done? You've broken even. You haven't made any money. Per the tax bill, you would then only be able to deduct $90,000, your losses, 90% of your losses, and you'd actually have to pay on $10,000 of winnings. Okay, and they exacerbate this in the scenario. And usually, folks, the numbers are much, much higher. Because imagine if you're playing even a $1,000 tournament once a week is $52,000 of buy-ins. Okay, so if you just break even playing a $1,000 tournament a week, the government's going to say you can only deduct 90% of your losses against your winnings. I don't know why you would ever do something like that. Okay, it makes no sense. It's just a grab for gambling winnings, I guess, because guess what? Who cares about gamblers, right? I mean, I don't know why that makes sense, man. You'd always be able to offset your losses off your wins. Meanwhile, now it's only going to be 90%. And this could be a huge, you could see all of these tournaments that I've been showing you that are so cool, people playing $50,000, $100,000. You're not going to be able to play these tournaments. These people that play these tournaments are math geniuses, okay? They search out expected value. They search out, long-term expected value. You can't make money because a lot of times these players will buy in for, and Anyway, it just makes no sense. It always happens somehow. Makes no sense whatsoever. So you're going to get it coming off poker players and professional gamblers and gamblers of any like, folks. You're down recreational. I mean, I think about the amount of people. You should see how many retirees play poker at the Hard Rock, okay, wherever else. If they're paying their taxes like they should and that bill goes through, the amount of money for cash game players, to put this lightly, right? Okay, cash game players, you're winning and losing $200 every single day. You can only deduct 90% of your losses. Imagine that. You guys know as traders. Imagine if as traders, you took the aggregate amount of your wins and then the aggregate amount of your losses. That's how it works in poker. So on any given year, if you're actively trading, which people are actively playing poker, okay? If you're actively trading and making 5 to 10 trades a day, imagine what the year-end winning trades add up to and the year-end losing trades add up to. And then imagine if the government told you you're only going to be able to deduct 90% of your losses versus your wins. Your head would explode as to why it makes no sense whatsoever that they're somehow going to tax you on gains that aren't material. I know that nobody listening to this out there agrees with it. There's no way. It's just one of those things that makes no sense whatsoever. And guess what, man? People should be able to recreate, especially a game like poker, where it's a positive expectation game. There's winners all over the place. So you have people playing games of recreation that they can gain a skill at, and the taxation is going to make that go away because it's taxed in a way that prevents people from doing it. Yeah, I spent 5-6 minutes, longer than I thought, but it just makes no sense whatsoever. So you got the debt going up $3.8 trillion, but meanwhile, poker players are going to get taxed on money they don't make. You're going to hear more about it, man. These World Series, okay, these high-limit players, it may disappear. That's how this works. Like, new laws become, taxes changed. I've seen it happen. There's many people where it doesn't make sense in certain countries across the globe to actually come and play poker in the U.S. because they're getting taxed in a way that they can't make money in the long run. And that's what that law will do almost overnight, folks. You play a lot of poker tournaments and you actually keep track of your winnings and your losses, and you're going to end up paying taxes on your winnings but can't deduct all of your losses. Right away, you have a negative expectation that so poker is a negative sum game, okay? And a negative sum game means you can't just play break even as good of everybody else, because you play as break even as good of everybody else, they take out the rake, okay? There's a huge rake on tournament poker players. So it's a negative sum. You play the game, and the sum of dollars that go into that game get actually decreased by the time it gets given out to the players. But usually, the percentage is small enough that players who have a good edge can overcome that. And this one's a real bummer, man. And I wanted to talk about it because it makes no sense. And it's just, it's unfortunate, man. You know, online poker, it's already, and I see it. You got the Hard Rock, okay? I can go down and I can lose my house at the Hard Rock tonight. I can do it. Nobody's going to stop me. I could take out as much credit as I wanted with a credit score, and I could lose multiple houses at the Hard Rock. And I can't log onto my computer and play a $5 online poker tournament if I wanted to, right? And now they're going to come for that completely. But gambling, yeah, it's an easy mark because nobody's going to stick up for gamblers. And that's what happens, which is a bummer, man. I've been talking about those World Series poker tournaments. This becomes law. There's a very real chance that may go away. For instance, folks, somebody plays a full-scale lineup. We went the whole segment on this one, okay? But these top pros I've been telling you about, right? The Daniel Negreanu's out there, okay? Phil Hellmuth doesn't even play the high-limit ones, the 250Ks. But for the Daniel Negreanu's out there that play the 50Ks, they play the 100Ks, they play the $250,000 tournament, okay? They're putting into play millions of dollars during this World Series alone. So imagine if they buy in for $1.5 million and somebody tells them if they just break even, they're going to have to pay taxes on $150,000 in earnings. Because imagine, you buy in for $1.5 million, you make $1.5 million in payouts, you break even. And meanwhile, 90% of your losses, you're only writing off 1.35. All right, we'll come back and talk equities, folks. Stay tuned.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got the NASDAQ 100 up by 33 points. Tech stocks yet again powering higher. S&P's negative by just 2. Dow rolling over. It's a little bit of a reversal from yesterday when you had the Dow plowing higher. Today we got NASDAQ 100 higher. Dow actually in the red. Russell flat right now. We check in on some of those equities. Yeah, UNH down by 2.3% right now. Home Depot giving back some of the gains, off by about 0.5%. Amgen was on fire yesterday as well. Continuing that gain, up by 1.2. How about NVIDIA? All right, you give back some of it, but still up by 0.7 right now for NVIDIA shares. And yeah, Tesla. I guess the story's bright. I'm not sure. Up by 2.2%. I guess things could have been worse. Nonetheless, they like something going on those deliveries that continue to drop on a yearly basis. But it gives back almost all of it to 307 right now for Tesla. You're still up by 2.2%, but you were as high as 322 at one point on Tesla. Amazon slightly in the red, hanging out. Microsoft slightly in the red as well. We jump over to Apple. Look at that, man. Apple's on fire. All right. Be interesting to see if this is the rotation. Apple's been a laggard for some time. From 260, you were sitting at 200 when you got the news that they're going to potentially use Anthropic and OpenAI in terms of instead of their own AI. Excuse me, but you got a ways to go compared to the likes of Microsoft, Meta, all of those pushing all-time highs. Meta off by 0.6%. Google in the positive slightly. Jump over to Disney. Quite a run for Disney recently, giving back slightly. Off by about 0.5% right now for Disney shares. Jump around some other equities. Visa up by 0.1%. Some of the car companies. Ford up by 0.6%. GM, up by 0.4%. All right, we check back in on yields one final time. The 10-year. It's right back, like 830 never happened, right? Up to 111.27. We're back to 111.20 right now. And the market, remember, folks, half a day tomorrow, okay? But boy, we get that economic data tomorrow. We get a full day of trading today. The day is young, as our man Basil Chapman would say. Basil's coming up next with the Tiger Technicians Hour, folks. Have a great Wednesday. Have a safe Wednesday. We'll see you here tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Stay tuned for Basil, folks. Have a great one, everybody.